Manchester United's Ruben Amorim revolution is certainly based on individual players and what they can give. To be honest, there is quite a number of players in there who have disappointed. By their own standards, they have not been anywhere close to what we expected of them, and they have not shown the importance we are hoping to see from them in terms of helping the entire team adopt to the new system that Amorim plays. And in this video, I'm here to give you the top 5 players who have been most inconsistent at Man United, especially under Ruben Amorim. Number 1 will shock you. The bonus will amaze you. Like, share, and subscribe to the Network Sport. I'll start off with number 5, the obvious one, Antony Dos Santos. Of course, there are people who felt that the fact that Antony Dos Santos was the kind of left-footed player he was at Ajax and showed the signs that warranted an £85 million fee for him, they felt there was a feeling that in this new Amorim system, perhaps he would step up his game because at least he's got the one of the key fundamentals to shine in this Ruben Amorim system, which is working hard. Because Antony tries to work hard and keep a good attitude, but boy, hasn't he been a disappointment. I won't even dwell so much on him. Of course, he has come off the bench and looked a little impressed, but improved rather. But I think the level of his improvement is negligible. It's not enough for you to say that, you know what, Antony is back and this is it. This is the £85 million player we signed. You think it hasn't worked. And again, I won't go dwell a lot on Antony because there's nothing better probably we expected. In fact, if anything, Antony is one of those who surprised by his subtle improvement. But listen, guys, let's talk about Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez was to many arguably Eric Ten Hag signing. To many, the butcher, as he was nicknamed, a World Cup winner. But we're talking of a butcher who is now looking blunt, a blunt butcher, you should say. He has been a proper shadow of himself. Lisandro Martinez's only fair game, I think, this season under Ruben Amorim was the game against Man City. The rest of the games, he has been struggling both physically and technically to adapt to the Ruben Amorim system. And you're thinking, this is such a disappointment because you can imagine, how do you expect young players like Kobe, like Garnacho to perform when a senior player like Lisandro Martinez is struggling the way he does? No wonder Ruben Amorim's first recommendation for a new signing was in Lisandro Martinez's position. Yet you would think Lisandro Martinez was supposed to be among those untouchable players. But Martinez, ever since he started getting those injuries, even when Eric Ten Hag was still there, he was always a shadow of his old self. I think for me, he has been such a disappointment. That's number 4. Number 3, guys, the other big disappointment that Ruben Amorim will look at and say, okay, guys, this is wrong, is Andre Onana. Listen, Andre Onana is supposed to be a senior player. He's winning Save of the Month awards for fun, keeping so many clean sheets in the Premier League. And you're thinking, under a new manager like this, it should be renewed energy for him. But Andre Onana, yes, gave us some good saves, but he has not been consistent. This is supposed to be the leader in this team, but there are certain mistakes Onana makes and you're thinking, where is the leadership? Yet his playing in terms of ball distribution and how he starts play is so important for how Ruben Amorim wants to play football. So you're thinking, and you see, I don't think Amorim joined Man United with qualms about Onana's levels. I think he probably was mostly focused on outfield players, but Onana is proving that there is another problem in between the sticks to solve. And that inconsistent performance, that inconsistency is certainly looking ugly on him. And for me, it's another major disappointment. The other disappointment, number 2, will be Joshua Zirkzee. Listen, guys, Man United paid £36 million for this boy, and I do remember his former coach Thiago Motta likening him to the great Ronaldinho, and he himself saying Ronaldinho was his idol growing up on the Cruyff courts in the Netherlands, and how he loves to play football and express himself. And we're all excited. Let's be honest. We're excited by the Zirkzee signing. He was balling in the Serie A. But the boy has been underwhelming in his performances. He's proving to be confusing as his role, because he was supposed to be the player who links play for Man United. And for such a player, Ruben Amorim's system is the perfect one. Under Eric Ten Hag, there was no role for him in that 2-4-2-3-1 because he was never going to play 10 ahead of Bruno. So which position was he going to play to link up play with the striker? But in a 3-4-2-1, he should be a mainstay among the two attackers, the two number 10s, the two attackers behind the number 9. But he has played there a few times. A few times he has been leading the line. Amorim himself is confused about where to play him. He's not consistent. His performances have been so slow in terms of improvement that you struggle to see where he fits in the team. He has flashes of a good player, but his link-up play is not consistent. He has failed to adapt to the physicality of the English Premier League, and this link man thing is not working for Joshua Zirkzee. In fact, there are reports claiming that Man United might be contemplating loaning him out in January. Now, that would be a pure vote of no confidence, and it would destroy him. If you're 23, that should be the age you should come out there and be balling. He's just not, hasn't got it. His character itself is, he doesn't look to be this hungry player. He doesn't have the mentality. I don't feel Joshua Zirkzee's presence. He doesn't have the persona, the aura around him. Maybe Hoyland has a bit of it, but Joshua Zirkzee doesn't quite have it, and it doesn't look good at all. Yet we felt he was supposed to be a fair improvement on Rasmus Hoyland. So Amorim certainly will be left with no option but to look out for players to come out and give him what he expects, because the pressure is mounting day after day for him. For me, that has been a pure disappointment. Number one, guys, can we all together join me, guys, ladies and gentlemen, in naming the number one disappointment in this Ruben Amorim era? Diogo Dalot. Guys, don't get it twisted. Diogo Dalot is a hard worker. He's a good boy. He's disciplined. He's he's loved. He's a player who can play multiple positions. No wonder he has been switched between right and left wing back. But guys, the boys' football IQ is so whack. I haven't seen, with the exception of Marcus Rashford, but Rashford was scoring goals at some point, so you can cut him some slack and say maybe it's just other issues. But I haven't seen continuously one footballer whose football IQ is as stale as Diogo Dalot. No disrespect, I'm being honest. Diogo Dalot, I think, has played the most minutes among so many players at Man United for a long time. Dalot doesn't improve. All he does, all we know is that he's a hard worker, but his final ball is as terrible as the word. No wonder this season he has only been able to make only one assist, guys. With all the minutes that Dalot plays, he has got only one assist for the entire season. When it comes to 1v1 situations, he gives a lot of space to his opponents. They just, when they're running in behind, it's so easy to beat. I would beat Dalot for fun, by the way. If I was playing inverted wing against him, I would beat Dalot for fun. There is no question about it. He's just not it. From 2018, when he joined from FC Porto, Dalot has really shown he's hardworking. He has the heart, he has got the discipline. He's a good boy, probably. Cristiano Ronaldo praised him, but boy, he does not improve. He cannot say that he has not got enough opportunities. Antony could say a little bit that under Ruben Amorim he hasn't got so much opportunities yet. He got them under Erik ten Hag. Amorim maybe he might say I would need more to prove myself, a little bit of time. Diogo Dalot has been playing every game for every manager that Man United has had ever since he joined, probably. This boy just doesn't improve. And people will keep referring to that decision. People will keep referring to that decision to keep him and let go of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Because you look at him in 1v1 situations and you're thinking, okay, I think Bissaka perhaps could have been slightly better. And honestly, let's face it, guys, I've always felt like Bissaka was a better footballer than Diogo Dalot. At some point, Bissaka was starting ahead of Dalot. But Bissaka gets injured. Dalot, because of his hard work and his attitude, steps up his game, and he never went back on the bench. Bissaka always now had to play second fiddle, or he's the one who they had to push on the left at times. But keeping Dalot and letting go of Bissaka was never a decision we would all unanimously say was right. There was a debate. We could have had a conversation about who of the two was better. But Dalot, guys, is such a disappointment. Now, that's for me is my undisputed number one. Now, the bonus player, and I hate to include him because he's young, but Alejandro Garnacho is a pain. And to even us be here talking about him and a potential departure and has been dropped out of the squad for a game, he's not starting games no more. With all the potential he's got, you look at it and think it's so sad. But you see, sometimes you've got to do certain things if you're going to really get things changed. You cannot do the same things and expect different results. It can't happen. It shows you're illiterate. You're the illiterate of the 21st century if you're playing, if you do the same thing every day and you expect different results. Alejandro Garnacho's issue is his failure to adjust his attitude, wanting to do the same, play selfish, thinking it's all about him, not wanting to track back, not wanting to play for the team. That's terrible. Because with the potential that boy has and how we know Ruben Amorim has got it in him to improve individual players, you would think he was among the first people who are going to clearly, quickly be improved. But his attitude might be his biggest disappointment. But I've made him a bonus because I've not given up on Garnacho. He's only 20 and I so that is exactly why I will not I will not rule him out completely. I'll just keep him among, as a bonus. The other player I'll talk about is Kobbie Mainoo, but I won't talk about Kobbie because Kobbie was injured for a long time. He's 19. He was injured, and I still think he's still learning to play that number 8 role. Kobbie was a striker. Whether you believe it or not, do your research. I keep saying it. Kobbie was, for the most part of his young career, which is still so young, he played longer as a 10 than he has ever played as a 6 or 8. So Kobbie is learning and adapting to that position, and now it's a new manager and a new system. He played a lot of football last season. He had a lot of weight on him. He will come of age. That for me, there is no doubt. So I don't want to include him in these crazy lists of these players who have got so many opportunities, all those players who will do nothing. Kobbie is a different case. That's my mistake. Now, what then does this show you? Where is the fulcrum of the team? Where is the fulcrum of this team if all there should be senior players are this inconsistent? Are you going to still blame the manager, Ruben Amorim? Who is going to? He doesn't play football on the pitch. It's the players. He has shown us that in less than 2 months, his impact on the team is clear. They look like a coached team, putting passes together, creating chances. But the individuals are just not good. So what then is the solution? Overhaul the team. Let them out, send them out one after the other in every transfer window until you get the right players in the team. Guys, my verdict for me on this team is we've got mediocre players. And Amorim was trying to be nice and polite with them, saying it's in their head, it's mental and all. No, it's not even just mental. These players are just not good enough to be Man United players. They are just not good enough. Don't talk about it being mental and all. Those who were at some point have lost it completely, and there is need for new players to come in if we are going to get it working. Otherwise, we will be there. But the beauty is there is hope. The only challenge, though, is that the finances to make it happen might be an issue because, like you've seen all these players, they are nearly unsellable. There were rumors of Diogo Dalot being wanted by Real Madrid, flattering rumors because, I mean, well, man, really, Diogo Dalot, Real Madrid, think about it. Guys, I'm done.